curious about the 10 most powerful Pontiacs ever produced? Which of these legendary muscle cars roared the loudest and packed the fiercest punch? From the 1963 Catalina Super Duty's 405 horsepower beast, hitting 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds, to the rare 1971 GTO Judge 455 with only 357 ever made, Pontiac's power and style defined muscle car history. Did you know some of these engines lasted over 150,000 miles, despite their raw power? What made these Pontiacs so unforgettable, and how did they shape muscle car culture forever? Stick around as we dive into each iconic model. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into muscle legends and hidden gems. Ready to rev your engine? Let's go. 10. 1989 Pontiac 20th Anniversary Firebird Trans Am. The 1989 20th Anniversary Firebird Trans Am is a legend, even if it was only made in white and in limited numbers. Pontiac celebrated 2 decades with a turbocharged 3.8-liter V6 from the Buick GNX, producing an estimated 300 horsepower and 340 pound-feet of torque. It hit 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds and could reach a top speed of 162 miles per hour. Fuel economy was surprisingly good at 23 to 24 miles per gallon combined, with an engine life that could stretch beyond 150,000 miles with care. Priced around $30,000, this was nearly $9,000 more than the standard Trans Am GTA. How many of you knew this turbo V6 was so powerful? Would you have gone for a rare white-only edition? From a turbocharged V6 that surprised muscle fans, let's take a step back to the raw V8 power that defined Pontiac's first Firebirds. 9. 1967 Pontiac Firebird 400. Pontiac's 1967 Firebird 400 carved its name with a bold 400 cubic inch V8, producing 325 horsepower and 410 pound-feet torque. It sprinted from 0 to 60 in 6.0 seconds and topped out at 116 miles per hour. Fuel mileage averaged 10 to 14 miles per gallon, respectable for a muscle car of its time. Its engine life was solid, easily reaching 100,000 miles when maintained properly. The car cost about $3,829 new, sitting comfortably between economy and performance. What do you think made the Firebird's style so timeless compared to its rival, the Camaro? Would you pick style or performance if you could only have one? As muscle car legends go, you can't ignore the thunderous 455 cubic inches that changed the game. Ready for the big block beast? 8. 1971 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am 455 HO. The 1971 Firebird Trans Am 455 HO boasted a massive 455 cubic inch high output V8 delivering 335 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. It zipped 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds, reaching a top speed of 118 miles per hour. Fuel mileage was a modest 8 to 12 miles per gallon, typical for big muscle engines then, with engine longevity around 100,000 miles with upkeep. Its price was around $4,595, making it a serious muscle investment. How many muscle cars today give that classic balance of power and durability? Would you brave the thirst for fuel for that legendary roar? Speaking of beasts, the GTO Judge brought its fury with that same monstrous 455 engine. Let's dive into what made it a true judge of power. 7. 1971 Pontiac GTO Judge 455. The 1971 GTO Judge 455 HO packs a punch with the same 455 cubic inch V8, producing 335 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. It hits 0 to 60 in 5.9 seconds and maxes out at 125 miles per hour. Fuel economy was roughly 8 to 10 miles per gallon, with an engine lifespan often exceeding 120,000 miles. The Judge's MSRP hovered near $3,840, a bargain for such muscle. Only 357 were made, making it super rare. What's your take on underrated power ratings from that era? Would you hunt down one of these rare muscle machines today? Before muscle cars got too wild, the 1964 GTO quietly set the stage for muscle madness to come. Let's rewind to where it all began. 6. 1964 Pontiac GTO. The 1964 GTO is the OG muscle car, Powered by a 389 cubic inch tri-power V8 with 348 horsepower and 428 pound-feet torque. It launched from 0 to 60 in 6.0 seconds with a top speed of 134 miles per hour. Fuel economy averaged 12 to 18 miles per gallon, and the engine could last 150,000 plus miles if cared for. The car costs about $4,500 fully equipped, accessible to young buyers. Do you think the GTO's success inspired the muscle car era? What would you say makes this classic so special to Pontiac fans? The Firebird Trans Am of '69 took that muscle fire and fanned it with Ram air power. Ready for a 360 horsepower sprint? If you are enjoying this, tap that subscribe button so you never miss what's next. 5. 1969 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. The 1969 Firebird Trans Am rocked a 400 cubic inch Ram Air 4 V8 with 360 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. It hit 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds and reached a top speed of 113 miles per hour. Fuel mileage was about 15 miles per gallon highway and 10 miles per gallon city, while the engine was known for durability beyond 100,000 miles. The base price was around $3,600 plus extra for options. How do you feel about muscle cars built to dominate the street and track? Would you take this Trans Am for a spin today? Muscle cars didn't stop evolving, and the 1970 GTO Judge Ram Air 4 was proof of just how fast things got. Let's see what that extra power brought. 4. 1970 Pontiac GTO Judge Ram Air 4. In 1970, the GTO Judge Ram Air 4 featured a 400 cubic inch V8, producing 370 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. It flew from 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, topping out at 122 miles per hour. Fuel consumption was around 9 to 12 miles per gallon, with engine life hitting 150,000 miles with good care. The MSRP was about $3,800, with the Ram Air 4 adding roughly $400. How important is that extra second shaved off the quarter mile to you? Would you pay the extra for top-tier performance back then? While the big GTO ruled, Pontiac's full-size Catalina 2+2 mixed muscle with luxury, a combination worth exploring. 3. 1967 Pontiac Catalina 2+2. The 1967 Catalina 2+2 boasted a 428 cubic inch quadra-power V8, delivering 376 horsepower and 462 pound-feet of torque. It sprinted 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, with a top speed of 132 miles per hour. Fuel economy ranged from 10 to 14 miles per gallon, while the engine could last well over 100,000 miles with maintenance. Prices began around $2,950, with the 2+2 package adding $350. Would you prefer a muscle car with luxury touches like this? How do you think it compares to other full-size muscle cars? Fast forward to the 80s, where innovation took a turn with a quirky mid-engine pony, the Pontiac Fiero. Let's check out this unique ride. 2. 1983 Pontiac Fiero. The 1983 Pontiac Fiero was a compact mid-engine coupe with a 2.5-liter or 2.8-liter V6, producing up to 142 horsepower. The 0 to 60 time was around 11.3 seconds, with a top speed near 105 miles per hour for early models, improving to about 110 miles per hour with upgrades. Fuel economy was 21 to 24 miles per gallon, and engines could last 160,000 to 200,000 miles if maintained. The price ranged from $8,000 to $12,000. Would you take a chance on this quirky, innovative ride? What do you think about its legacy compared to Pontiac's muscle legends? And finally, we arrive at the ultimate street rocket, the 1963 Catalina Super Duty, a powerhouse with a legendary name. 1. 1963 Pontiac Catalina Super Duty. The 1963 Catalina Super Duty was a street rocket with a 421 cubic inch dual quad V8, rated at 405 horsepower, but believed closer to 450 and 425 pound-feet of torque. It blasted 0 to 60 in roughly 4.9 seconds and topped out around 120 miles per hour. Fuel consumption was a thirsty 8 to 12 miles per gallon, with a durable engine life of over 100,000 miles. The price was about $6,000, double a base Catalina. How cool is this Swiss cheese nickname for weight-saving holes? Would you own one if it weren't so rare? Pontiac's muscle cars are timeless icons of raw power, style, and engineering brilliance. From the rare 1971 GTO Judge 455 to the groundbreaking 1963 Catalina Super Duty, each model shaped muscle car culture with unforgettable performance and durability. These beasts weren't just fast, they defined an era, combining speed with longevity and style. Which Pontiac would you choose to own or drive? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more legendary muscle car stories and deep dives.